Well, blimey! It's Thomas, the tank engine. A true gem from my childhood. I need to find something for the other category for this show. So why not? I was feeling nostalgic and thought to rewatch this show. And I found some interesting stuff to talk about. Sure, this show may be directed towards children, but there are some moments that even get my adult brain thinking. These guys took some serious punishment, whether it be a literal train wreck, or them getting yelled at by their boss, the Fat Controller, aka Sir Topham Hatt. Not only that, these guys would relentlessly roast each other.
Duck called me a galloping sausage.
From disses to sweet, sweet payback, I present to you the savage moments of Thomas the Tank Engine. Alright folks, let's start off nice and easy with our boy Thomas. He loves to crack jokes.
Wake up, lazy bones. Why don't you work hard like me?
Now, there are times where he straight up cooks the other engines. Take this moment between him and Percy.
Your ugly fizz is enough to frighten anyone. You're like, ugly indeed. I'm green caterpillar with red stripes, continued Thomas firmly. You crawl like one, too.
Ouch. And I thought Percy was your friend. Then again, friends roast each other all the time. Now here's a moment between Thomas and Henry. Henry was feeling depressed, and he just simply expresses himself. However, Thomas was not tolerating any of it. He just outright snaps at him. I'm gonna use the UK version because it sounds funnier.
Oh dear, my system is out of order. No one understands my case. You don't know what I suffer, moaned Henry. Rubbish, said Thomas. You're too fat, you need exercise.
Damn, Thomas! A little sympathy, bro. This next one's about actions rather than words. This one time Gordon was all muddy and needed to get a wash down. His driver said it was time to wash up, and Gordon was like, no, you need to wash up, and sprayed mud all over him. Gordon thinks real highly of himself. He loves to put the others in their place.
You, Thomas, are small. Small, 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 teeny, weeny, weeny. And I'm a big blue engine who knows everything.
So what can a big engine really do? Not speak to silly little green engines for a start.
Gordon doesn't roast as often as we would expect, but James, on the other hand, oh boy, he is unhinged.
Take care, hissed Gordon. You might stick too. No fear, chuckled James. I'm not so fat as you. Yuck! What dirty objects.
Why, James? I'm the one who needs a new coat. Look at me. I'd rather not. You're not a pleasant sight. If you can't push cars properly, Henry, why not talk to a tree instead? You know how much you like the forest. I've just been repainted. Can't Thomas or Percy do it? They're dirty and like working with freight cars.
That's our James. No one's safe from him. The only engine that can put James in his place is Toby.
Look here, Percy, exclaimed Toby. Whatever is that dirty object? That's James, didn't you know? It's James's shape, said Toby. But James is a splendid red engine, and you never see his paint dirty.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Next up, we have Percy. I like Percy. He's one of the most entertaining characters in the series. Granted, he gets made fun of a lot by the other characters. Not only that, he gets himself in a lot of unpleasant situations. Usually messy situations.
You look good enough to eat, Thomas hooted. Bonbon Percy, teased James. Chalk ice on wheels, chipped in Henry. Disgraceful.
However, there's one time he made a good comeback at Henry.
Engines don't wear scarves. Engines with proper funnels do, replied Percy. You've only got a small one.
Percy was being real bold that day. With all this joke cracking on the railway, there's only one person that can keep them all in check. Nobody messes with the Fat Controller. Nobody. Anybody that messes around gets severely punished. Don't want to do work because it's raining? You get locked up in the tunnel. Want to rebel against the danger sign? You can stay sunk until high tides. This man kept everybody in line.
Where were you?
The only engine of the main cast who doesn't roast anybody is Edward. He's a polite guy. Sadly for him, that's not enough to save him from getting roasted.
Did you see him straining? Asked Henry.
Positively painful,
Remarked James.
Just pathetic.
Grunted Gordon.
He should give up and be preserved.
It sucks because Edward's such a nice guy. He's always there for everybody, he's got everybody's back. He's the most wise of the pack. You gotta have a bit of balance. I guess that's what makes him stand out from the rest of the cast. What is up with these guys anyways? All this roasting and trash talk and putting each other down. How do you function in such an environment? Well, it's still possible, because despite the bickering and banter, they genuinely care for each other. There's many moments where the characters work together and form genuine friendships, whether it be getting up large hills or pushing heavy coaches. Despite each other's differences, they're all really useful engines. That's why we love these characters so much. This series was a huge part of my childhood, and I just wanted to take some time to revisit it. On a side note, I've watched this series in Japanese, and it hits very differently.
そりゃそうさ。なんたって青い色は一番機関車らしい色だからな。
いやー、トーマス、楽しそうだね。
でもここにいるようにって今朝トップハムハット卿からの伝言があったんだ。
間抜けな行動落っこちた。溝の中に落っこちた。
You should check it out sometime. With all that being said, I bring this video to a conclusion. I thank you for taking the time to watch this episode. Until next time, have yourself a wonderful day.